Hello everyone, this is part 25 of my Hocus Pocus dollhouse videos. This week I didn't get to make the pieces that I had meant to make, so I had to just settle for something else that I had been wanting to work on, which is some weird little thing. I actually have no idea what it is, and even after getting it made, I still have no idea what this thing's supposed to be. So we will just check it out in today's video, and so yeah, again, I don't know what it is, but we're going to work on it today. Okay, so I was going to work on, again, that little bench and the chair, but I did buy the stuff to work on those, and then I ended up leaving it in my friend's car. So it's just not meant for me to get those two pieces of furniture made. So I just looked at what else I need to work on, and in this picture here, real popular scene. When you Google Hocus Pocus, you see this picture a lot. But there's this thing hanging back here above the fireplace. I have absolutely no idea what that's supposed to be. It looks like some sort of a little statue in a little display box. And it looks like an Indian totem pole, totem pole, but I have no idea what it is. I'm just going to do one of my weird little things where I build up the baking soda with the super glue like I did for those little bird skulls on my candle. But for the box itself, I'm just going to make that out of some cardboard. And I wish that would zoom a little bit closer, but it's not going to zoom any closer than that. This one will. So that's what that looks like. And I may try to post a picture on the screen. Anyway, I've cut out this little cardboard piece, kind of in the shape of this back part. You can see it's got a little rounded piece at the top and the bottom. So I've got that little back cut out, and then I've just got to basically create a little frame, like a little box around this. So I've cut these little pieces of poster board or little cardboard, just these little strips, and I'm just going to start gluing this on to make a little box, and then later I'll go in and put that little clear plastic in there for the glass part. So I'm just going to create a little box coming out from this. Boop. And I guess, I don't know if I'm going to show it. It's just going to be such a tedious little job. But let me, I don't even have all my parts out. I need to grab me some glue and some other things. So let me get it all together a little bit better, because I'm not really prepped and ready. Okay, so I've got my glue out now. And I'm just going to make it, y'all can just watch me do this, because I'm just, again, like everything else in this house, I just kind of make it up as I go. I'm going to cut this little strip as long as what that side box part is, or that little back piece, and I need 2 of those. I'm really wanting to start working on some of the other stuff too, like my pumpkin, my little witch pumpkin, and I still want to talk about my little Madonna costume, because it's just really a neat outfit. So I'll work on that, kind of show how I did that, because I've looked at so many other people's little Madonna cone bra thing, and they're all kind of cool, but I really want to show my version of it. So just put that little lip on there. I think that kind of shows pretty decent. But this is going to be a tedious little thing. Like, I'm just going to have to do this piece by piece and kind of let it dry. I don't think I'm going to be able to get all this done real quick. Now, you know, you could do super glue, or not super glue, but hot glue, but that would be such a big bulky glue for this tiny little box that I'm trying to make. So, and the tacky glue holds pretty quick. I mean, it holds it right how I want it. So I don't know, it's hard to really see that, but that's my little side pieces. And then I need to build it out as deep as I want it. I need to figure out how deep I want this little shelf to be. And then I probably am going to need to get my super glue out for this. So I think I'll do that, because I can super glue this like I did that little piece of cardboard in that last video, and this will really stick a lot quicker. Okay, so I've got my little super glue, and that is like the tiniest little super glue. I'm not sure how much more I've got left in that, but hopefully enough to finish it. So I'm just going to cut this little strip out here as deep as I want that shadow box to be, and I really don't care how deep it is. I'm just going to just guess at this. And then just glue it. Well, I don't even think there's glue in this. It's either dried up or it's empty. Okay. I think it might be empty. Okay, I think it's dried up. I don't know. Nah, okay, I'm gonna have to get another one real quick. Okay, so I got me my last little bottle, and I'm carefully screwing that little cap on there, because it always seems to spill out just a little bit. I'm gonna freak out if I get it on my hand. I hate getting it on my fingers. But I actually have that little piece I was going to glue there, but I need 4 of those, so I went ahead and cut me 4 pieces. So that little piece has to just glue on there. Okay. Let me see if you can see that if I sit it right here, because I've got to try and hold it. And see, I may have to sit here and hold it. Oh wait, it's stuck. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go, see, I got that glued on there. That light's just bright. I have the worst lighting. I am not good at videoing stuff. Alright, now to make sure that sticks better, my daddy's out mowing. I don't know if that is picking up in the camera or not, but alright, so there's one. And then I'll put this other one right over on the other side. And that one's not sticking as quick, but I dropped it. Okay, so see, that's why it's so aggravating. It's just so little, and that cardboard just absorbs that little super glue. So actually, I may get off of here and just do this, so I'm not really running my camera down, but I'm just trying to get these 4 pieces, 2 down here at the bottom and then 2 right up here at the top. So I'll sit here and work on that, and then I'll come back and do the next part, because see, that's just not wanting to stick, and I may have to try to grab it like this with one hand, making sure I've got the 2 parts together, and then put a little drop on it. See, I've got it pinched just in the right way that I need it. Ah, but see, oh no, it's stuck to my finger. Ah, oh no. Okay, so yeah, I need to hold it kind of like that, but at the same time throw that baking powder on there so it'll dry quick and not stick to my finger. So let me get a little bit of this, hold it just like I want it, and boop. And I don't know, gosh, that's just such a crazy way to do stuff. I think I got it. This one's kind of crooked, but I can bend it around. I mean, this is such a delicate, fragile little thing. I mean, until I get it done, it's going to be very hard to handle. Like, once I get it done, I'll go over it with Mod Podge and really, like, bake it all together with that little Mod Podge. So, let me try this again with the top part. I'm going to put a little bit on both parts. Oh my gosh, I got it on my thumb. Got quite a bit on there, so it's kind of real wet. Okay, see, the key is to actually, if I can hold it with one hand, then I can smear that baking powder on there. Ah, I dropped it. Okay. Okay, so I've got this last little piece on here, and I'm trying to get that baking soda on there so that it'll take hold. And I've got my little tweezers out here so you can sort of see what I've made. It's going to be that little box. Now, of course, I've got to come down with a piece down there like that. Wait, what am I doing? Like, I'll have to come out here and square that up so that the side will be an actual square. And then a square at the front. I'll have to go across the front. You know, and just trying to box it in, square it out. And then I can put those little pieces of plastic in there. And then I'm not going to put the top or the bottom. Well, I'll put the top on, and then the bottom can come in later, because the little thing will glue to that. So I've got those little pieces on here, and I'll just glue a little piece right across the front. Well, I guess I need to go across this part, and then the pieces across the top and the bottom. So that's what I'll do now. I just got to make sure I've got it square, because it's a little crooked. Like, these need to be all even. I need to make sure I get the parts cut the same so that it'll end up being the same length. So I can just hold it up here and mark it so that the front will be the same as the back. I don't know if anything I'm saying makes sense, but in my little head I know what I'm doing, so it'll come out in the end. Alright, so I'm still working on these two little top pieces, but I thought it would be good to just sort of film this, because I've glued my little bottle to the table and had to deal with that. I've glued it to my fingers at least twice. And I think, oh my gosh, I mean, it's so hard to make something so tiny. And I think I got it. Okay, it's not real even. If I could just bend it just a little bit and line these up, Yeah, see, that looks good. Okay, so, and check out all this powder down here. It's like all over the place. Back in here, it's crazy. Okay, so, you know, I get nervous making this little stuff. It freaks me out. So now I need to come out here with a little piece, just 2 more pieces here on the front, and I guess it's not exactly how I wanted this to be done, but it's getting done, so it's just gonna have to be what it is. So let me put a little super glue here and there, and then just hold that down. And then if that will dry, that will be good. Well, no, it won't, because it's not in the place I want it. So I got to get it over here where I can see it better. And again, just sprinkling that little baking soda on there makes this job a lot easier. Yeah, see there? And then now I can trim that off. And then that's making that little box, and then I'll probably paint this. Well, of course, I say that all the time, like of course you're going to paint it before you put that glass in it. But I'll get this other piece down, and then it'll be done. Well, all but the painting part and the glass part. But oh no, I've stuck it to my thumb again. That freaks me out, because one time I glued, you know, it's not good when you glue your fingers together, but I've done that a couple of times, and it just ain't good. So let me make sure these are held right where I want them. See, I'm so focused on what I'm doing right now. I keep wanting to talk about other Hocus Pocus things. You know, people do really cute videos where they will include clips from a movie. And I don't know how to get clips from a movie. I would love to do that. But I'm not that techie. I have no idea how to take a clip from a movie and insert it into my video anyway. But, ah, crud. I just broke that. Oh my gosh, it's not holding together. And I knew it wasn't going to hold together really good, because this is just, I'm just trying to tack all these pieces right now. And I was going to go back in and secure these all better. But here I just squeezed it and broke it. So let me try to get these little parts back together. Alright, so there it is. I went off camera and I've glued those parts together, and that is my little box. Now of course it needs a top, and I've went back over all those little joints where all those are pieced together, and I've put an extra little drip of that super glue. So there's that little bitty display box, and I will paint that up. Well, no, I've got to cut a little square top for it, so I'll just put a little top on there. And let me see, I'm gonna grab my phone so we can look at this. Well, wait a minute, gotta get it together. Alright, so there it is. I don't know if that shows real good, but there's my little box. And now I will put a top on it, get it painted, and while it's drying we will work on the little thing that's inside of it. It looks kind of like an owl or a bird or something. So I'm gonna sit that down, because it kind of freaks me out. When I get this done and attached, it's going to be, it'll be a lot safer when I'm not touching it. But once I get that little glass put in here, that's going to really help hold it together too. So I'll cut a little piece of square and just cap it off, get it painted, and then I'm going to actually build that little bird thing on the base. So when I shove it at the bottom on there, that little bird will be glued to the base of it. So I'll work on painting it and then come back and we'll do that little bird. Okie dokie. So back here I've got my little box drying, and here's the bottom of it, and I'm just going to start building this up. Oh, you know, I look over my camera, and the way I'm seeing this, I don't get down eye level with it. I mean, the angle I'm looking at, everything looks so bright and washed out. But when I really get back here and look, it's all showing up a lot better than I thought it was. So I'm always worried it's not showing up. But yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So anyways, all I'm going to do, I mean, this is ridiculous that I am building up a little glob of glue for this project. I mean, I should actually get clay and carve out a little shape instead of trying to just glob up some glue. But I thought it will just be odd, and it will be just as bizarre as what's really in the movie. Well, probably a little more bizarre, because I'm sure whatever's in the movie is actually something. It's not globbed up glue. But I'm hoping this will build up the way I want it to. I just want it to be a tall little thing. Like, I don't really want it going out, being too wide. I want it to just build up and be tall. See, it's a lot wider than I want it to be, but I don't know how long this will take to build this up, but I'm just going to sit here working on this, and I'll kind of eyeball it with the little box, make sure I'm not getting it too tall. But you know, there's not many more videos to this. I think I'll have this wrapped up in 2 or 3 more videos, but and then of course I'll start the Sanderson sisters, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that. I wanted to sculpt them myself out of clay, but you know, I just don't know how easy that's going to be. I mean, I've sculpted things out of clay before and it's turned out pretty good, but I kind of want to just buy an already made doll and paint it up. It'd be a lot quicker and easier. But I just have not found, you know, the doll that I want to use. It's not real easy finding dollhouse dolls. I'd say eBay is going to end up being my best place to go. I shouldn't try to be so cheap, but I don't want to pay a fortune for some dollhouse dolls. And that's another thing with, you know, I was wanting to do like 12 or 13 characters, but just since finding a dollhouse doll, and then they'd all have to sort of match and go together, and that's just so difficult unless you pay a really big price for them. So that's been kind of turning me off now. I was originally thinking 13 characters, but now I'm just going to probably just do the 3 sisters and let that be it. But this is absolutely horrible. I mean, it's going to take me like half the night to get this standing up here the way I want it. So I am going to I just got to think of something better than this. This is sort of crazy. Let me see if I can break that off. Alright, let's do something else. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I do know what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's forget that for right now. I will use that glue and that baking soda, but I am going to just make this up. If I want a tall figure, let me find my phone. Let's bring up the picture again. Okay, so there it is. I mean, it just looks like a tall Indian thing. What does call it? A totem pole with two wings. Kind of like I just don't know what it is. I mean, I have absolutely no idea. But I'm just going to build up a tall figure with a piece of cardboard, just sticking straight up. And then I will go across with the little wing shape, more like this. And then go over it with the super glue and the baking soda, just to give it some texture. So let's do that. Let's just cut this. Now let me sort of measure it up, size it up back here with the box. That'll probably be good. Cut just a little bit off of this. Okay, so new plan. Let's just glue this. I gotta quit sitting that glue up there. I'm gonna have little glue spots all over the floor of the house. Alright, so I've got that glued on there. And when the box sits down over it, it'll be in there like that. This is going to be so crazy. But once it's done, I think it's going to be okay. And now, just cut some little arms or wings or whatever that is. It's going to look like a cross. I'm not sure if we need a cross hanging in there like that. I mean, that'd be cool, but I don't want it to really look like that. But that's what I'm going to do with the baking soda. I'm going to give it some shape so it isn't just a cross standing up. Okay, so there is that little shape, and it does look like a cross, but I'm going to go just build up some super glue just all over the front. This is just what should I do here? We need to, I think it's going to look okay. I just need to keep building this up and give it some texture, or not necessarily texture, but some thickness so it's not flat. Check out the mess I'm making. Oh no! I'm pouring it right over the top of my bottle. I'm gonna have the tip of this bottle clogged up. I don't think, let me see. Let me look at that picture again. It don't matter how much glue I add to this, it's still going to look like a cross, which I don't have a problem with that, but I just don't think that's what they would have in the Sanderson sister house. Oh, okay, I see what I could do to it. I'll show you that picture again later, but let me see. I'm going to bring the shape of the bottom out a little more. I'm going to try to bulk up the bottom more. Okay, let me cut a piece and add to that. Okay, let me see. We're gonna get this, we're gonna make this look like something. Okay, so I put that little piece back there just to try to bulk up the bottom some more. And I'm just going to chunk up some of that glue back in there. Because they've got this weird little statue in that box that we have no idea what it is, so I'm going to make my own little weird statue that we have no idea what it is. I won't even have to paint this. It's already white, so that'll be good. Oh my gosh! I'm gluing it to my fingers. Ah! Oh my gosh. Look at them big chunks of super glue on my finger. I'm going to have to file those down now. Check it out. It looks weird. But it actually... Whoops. It actually isn't terrible because... You know, it's strange. Alright, put a little bit more on each side and I actually think I'm done with it. Other than painting the bottom, because it needs to be painted before I put it in the box. Oh my gosh, there I did it again. Look at this. Ah! Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, cool. Now let's compare. Oh man, my phone's gonna have all this stuff on it. Can you see the picture? Yeah, that's not really great. I know if somebody ever does this house, they're gonna do a much better job than this, I'm sure. And but I just wanted something random. I didn't even care what went in here, as long as it's some strange shape that is white. That will just be something there to see. I'm actually going to bulk that up a little bit more. I don't want it to look... I just want it to not really look like anything. I just want it to look odd. Man, you should see or feel this big old glob of glue I'm getting on my fingers. And that is such an irritating thing to have on your fingers. But I'll paint up the bottom, clean up that bottom a little bit, and then we need to put the glass in. It's almost dry enough to touch, so I'll go ahead and put the glass in it. Get those little strips cut out. Okay, so here is my little box. Now that I've got the glass in there. And then here's that weird little thing that I made. And I did go over that with some white paint because I just thought if the glue and the baking soda start to turn a funny color, or you know, I feel like if it ever got moisture to it, it would just kind of go clear, sort of the color of the glue. So I just went ahead and went over that with white. And I actually like the shape. I mean, looking at it in the camera, I actually can't wait to get it put together and get it put in place, because I don't actually think it's as bad as I was thinking. I mean, again, we don't know what it is in the movie, and I sure don't know what this is, so it makes sense. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom. And I'm kind of messy with this, which that's not going to matter because it's going to dry clear. But I'm just going to put glue all over the bottom edge. Oh my gosh, this is such a messy little thing, whatever this is supposed to be. Trying to be a little bit careful with it. Then I'm just going to seal him up in here. Trying not to touch the front of the glass because, you know, that paint is wet and I don't want to get white paint on the glass. And that looks okay. I will go back over all this with a little Mod Podge and all around the brown parts. But oh man, that's kind of cool. I'm liking how that looks. And let me make sure my hand ain't so dirty. Let me pull up that picture again. Okay, trying to get that angle of that camera. That is actually not bad. That looks pretty cool. I'm trying to get that phone to show it. That is actually pretty cute. I think that looks cool. I can't wait for this to all dry so that I can get it hung in place, and that's what I'll do. But this video is probably just going to be me showing how I'm doing this. I'm just not even going to cut the video. I'm not really going to crop it or cut any parts out. I'm just going to put all these little clips together and let it be what it is. But I think for today's video, this is super cool. I went into this thinking this is going to be so stupid. I mean, just, oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be so stupid, and I'm so excited about how this looks. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm kind of cracking up. This is just so funny that it actually looks kind of good. And so I'll let this dry and get it to where I can handle it a little bit better, clean up all this mess, and maybe just age it some. I don't know which way to lay it, sitting it straight up or lay it down. I'll just sit it straight up, I guess. So I'll let that dry, clean up my mess, and get it hung in place, and we'll check it out and see how it looks. Okay, so here is my little display case after I've got it made, and you can see that weird little shape in there. It's not exactly great. It's not a perfect match. Now the glue is still wet up in here, so it's not, you know, it still shows up a little bit. But it's just going to, I've got some pins in here, but I'm going to take those out for a minute. This will hang right back in here, and I think that looks really cool. I will put a picture up here so you can sort of see how that looks, and then I'll go ahead and get this put in place. And I noticed in the movie, as you can see, it hangs up here on this part, and then it kind of hangs down over this little brown board, and that's kind of the size. I tried to make mine the size to where it would hang right above those copper pots and overlap that little board a little bit, just like that right there. But I'll get that put in place, and I do need to age it, so I'll do that real quick. Okay, so there I've got it hung up, and I think it looks really, really good. And I've even gone over that a little bit with the black paint, little watered down paint. So I think it looks so good. Now I will post that little picture here so you can sort of see that, and then I'll get some pictures of it from a lower angle and do like a little side-by-side thing. I just think it looks really good, and it's just one of those weird little props that I'm sure people notice, but I bet nobody really even knows what it is. So, you know, it didn't have to be anything noticeable. Like, you didn't have to really know what it is, because it just looks good the way I've got it. Okay, see, I don't even know really what to say about it. I don't even know what to say about it, because I don't even know what it is. But anyway, I love how it's turned out. It looks really good. So anyways, here is that little box. And again, I feel like just what I've done today, and if I'm not gonna crop the video much, this will be kind of a long enough video just doing that one little prop. So that's just where I'm going to leave it for now, and I'll work on some more of the other stuff next week or whenever I get to post. I've just been kind of busy with my job lately, not getting to really post as much or work on this as much, so hopefully I will have one for next week. And I'm not even sure what I'll do yet, so I'm not going to say what it'll be, but I will see y'all next week.